With everything being true to the leaked roadmap earlier this year, Absolute Doom is the Marvel season for this chapter, making a splash of many returning players that dropped out of the previous season. This season contains some of the most fun weapons minus some minor regular loot pool changes I have played with since Chapter 3 Season 2. Along with the weapons and an amazing battle pass, Absolute Doom is one of the best seasons I had experienced in a while throughout the 3 years of playing this game. Absolute Doom kicks things off after the events of the last season, where the big MacGuffin of this year's storyline is Pandoras Box and its powers that Doom used to bring 4 new POIs into the island: the Raft, Doomstat, Doom's Courtyard, and Castle Doom. Castle Doom in particular is filled with Easter eggs, from a throne made out of the Thing, to the Human Torch's heart being used as a fire in a fireplace. This is a POI players always drop to. 3 of the 4 new POIs contain 2 new medallions, while 1 came back from Season 2. In the Raft, you get Emma Frost's Reveal Medallion, where it spots enemies within an area for a small period of time before it cools down. Doomstat gives you Mysterio's Stealth Medallion, where you go invisible for a limited time while crouching. And the last medallion comes from Castle Doom, with Doombot's medallion, which is Hades' medallion from Season 2. And for a limited time, a 4th medallion was added, the Birthday Medallion, where you gain balloons over time, which is not optimal but was there to celebrate Fortnite's 7th birthday. It was refreshing to see 2 new medallions, though the Stealth Medallion is the underwhelming medallion in the season. Along with the medallions came the unvaulted weapons that were also reworked for the season. The weapons for the season were great, but this is the first season in a while to not have a sniper rifle in the season. The Striker Burst makes a return as a reworked weapon for the attachment system, while the Striker AR and Hyper SMG make their return as well. The Train comes back after being fixed by Doom in order to make it work again from the last season. And then we go to the new weapons for this season, which includes the Monarch Pistol, the second pistol in the season to have a rapid fire on hip fire while a precision fire on ADS, the Sovereign Shotgun, which has the same functionality as the Monarch Pistol, and the Dual Micro SMGs, dual-wielding SMGs that has been one of the best weapon pools if you don't have a Marvel-themed weapon, and there's a lot of them. In the Marvel loot pool includes Dr. Doom's Arcane Gauntlets, which is a combination of the 2 Doom mythic powers from Chapter 2, Captain America's Shield, a shield that works like the one from the LTM back in Chapter 1 but has reduced sprint consumption and tracking up to 45 meters, War Machine items like his arsenal, auto turret, and hover jets, Shuri's Black Panther claws, and Iron Man items like his combat and flight kits. Let's break down War Machine's items first. The arsenal is one of the best weapons to have if you don't have the dual SMGs. Firing the arsenal does consume small ammo, while aiming becomes his rockets that lock on to opponents within a certain range. Next is the auto turret, in which you can enable and disable at a touch of a button, and like the rockets, the turret locks on opponents within a certain range. Last are his hover jets, where a lot of people have been using movement tech on this item. Tapping the jump button after a jump activates the jets, while the sprint button becomes the boost, and then the jump button becomes the ascend button for the hover jets. To cancel the hovering, press the crouch button and you take no fall damage if you have it equipped. There has been significant nerfs to all 3 items, but it still remained on top as one of the best items to get within this season's weapon meta. Up until Fortnite Nightmares actually vaulted the hover jets, so yay! Next we have Shuri's Claws, which is one of the best melee weapons of the season. While equipped, a meter on the reticle will charge over time until it is full. We'll refer to that later. With the claws, you can slash opponents that deal 35 damage, and a pounce attack that can also be used as movement tech, but it consumes sprint meter. Remember the meter on the reticle I mentioned earlier? Once that meter is charged, you can activate Supercharge, where you gain infinite sprint, increased speed and jump height, and a boost in slash and pounce attacks for a limited time. This, along with Captain America's Shield and War Machine items, can be obtained in Avengers chests that are located throughout the map, weapon bunkers, or after capturing Root Island. But the War Machine items can also be obtainable in the War Machine mobile armory that spawns before the weapon bunkers activate. The last set of Marvel weapons are for Iron Man. Starting with the Combat Kit, it's a combination of the repulsors from Chapters 1 and 2, as well as the Unibeam Mythic from Chapter 2. The Flight Kit is where things become amazing. Pair this with the combat kit and you can use the unibeam while using the flight kit. There are an ascend and descend button, boost or a ground pound button, and you also take no fall damage if you have it on your item slot. Both these items can be obtainable through the Stark Industries chest or in the Stark Mobile Armory. I do enjoy using these items as it makes me become Iron Man in the best way, although the Iron Man skin is something I want to address later. Moving along, we have this season's Battle Pass, and it's unanimous that it is the best Battle Pass in Chapter 5. Like the previous Battle Passes, each 2 pages contain items for each character. The featured characters for this season's Battle Pass are Gwenpool, War Machine, Wolverine, Emma Frost, Captain Jones, Mysterio, and Shuri. However, the big change for this Battle Pass and future ones are that they are no longer exclusive and will be in the item shop 18 months after the season ends, which means you can expect these skins to drop around 2026. The super styles this season are unique, and I can actually let it slide despite it having at least a little bit of Chowder background syndrome. As for the quest rewards, however, they're okay, as they do contain some extra stuff that match the other cosmetics within the main pages of the Battle Pass. However, I will criticize the fact that we have to wait for weeks 5 to 6 to start getting these rewards, and they should at least have been available during weeks 3 and 4. As for the bonus skin this season, it is none other than Dr. Doom himself, and he's the best bonus skin of all time. His glider is a literal fist, and his Pandora look is amazing to look at. Doom knows how badass he can be, and can flex it and use everyone. I love this Battle Pass, but I do have gripes on Wolverine and Captain Jones because while I get that they are matchups of existing Marvel characters, they look like they could have also worked in the items shop. This is the second Jones skin to be in a Chapter 5 Battle Pass, and I wish we could have seen someone different other than him. There was, however, a big gameplay change that happened from September 4th to October 5th, and it was the arrival of the Isle of Doom. However, there was a 5% chance of spawning it, which is a 1 in 20 match for it to spawn. Its percentage rate of spawning increased during the weekends, but the max percentage increase was up to 12% up until October 5th. The way that you can indicate how it is Doom Island is that you have to look at the icon if it's glowing green, and capturing the island allows you to wield the powers of Doom. This is essentially Thanos 2.0, so let me break down what he has. You only have walking movement, but the sprint is intact. While you wield the powers of Doom, you have the following abilities and weapons available. Arcane Barrage, a 3-shot burst that has no cooldown. Mystical Giga Bomb, a giant version of the Mystical Bomb that does 90 damage on opponents. The Plasma Beam, a beam that lasts for 40 seconds if the meter is consumed fully while dealing 121.5 DPS. You have a leap ability where you go up around 33 meters where you can use the Barrage, Plasma Beam, and Giga Bomb. But the best ability to use while in the air is the Foot Dive, a move so powerful that it destroys structures at an instant. And here's the best part while wielding the powers of Doom. You get a special windscreen that says Victory Von Doom. This was also available in the LTM Day of Doom. And speaking of the LTM, Day of Doom is one of the best LTMs in a while. It is similar to the 2019 LTM Marvel did as a cross promotion for Endgame. Up to 32 players in a 16v6 team where players are split into 2 teams, Doom's henchmen and the allies of the Avengers, or Avengers for short. If you were on Doom's henchmen, you had to secure 6 arcane artifacts with a limited set of lives, and the first player on the henchman side that gets the first artifact can transform into Doom, but if Doom is defeated, a random player in the henchman team will be chosen to be Doom. Henchmen will start with the Arcane Gauntlets, a combat AR, and a shockwave grenade that has unlimited use while having a cooldown. After getting the first artifact, you get access to a Monarch pistol while the second artifact gives you a Sovereign shotgun. All of them are mythic ready to match the damage for the Avengers loadouts. If you are a part of the Avengers team, however, You get unlimited lives, but will be limited if the henchmen get all 6 artifacts. The Avengers team spawns with one of 4 hero loadouts based on Captain America, War Machine, Shuri, and Iron Man. This mode is amazing to play, but I didn't like the 50-50 gamble of getting one team or the other. It would have been mitigated if there was a filter setting to have a preferred team over the randomness of it all. It is a build LTM, which is a bummer because it would have been chaotic to see it as a 0 build LTM as well. Switching from the LTM, let's talk about the skins and collabs that happened during the season, and there are a lot of them. Starting off with the Marvel side is the Iron Spider skin, and it looks amazing. What I liked about this skin is that you have the option to see him with his mask off and his face is straight out of the comics. I also like the attention to detail with the Spider Stroll emote that comes with the Iron Spider bundle, as it is stepping in the rhythm of the song Itsy Bitsy Spider. This skin did turn off a lot of people because they would have wanted the MCU version, but I prefer this one over the MCU version as that version would have felt the same as the No Way Home skin. Meowtooth is the second skin to release for Marvel, and it is a mashup of Meowscles and Sabretooth, and he's alright. Felicia Hardy, Black Cat herself, is the third Marvel skin to release and she looks amazing. Like Iron Spider, you have the option to see her with her mask off. Iron Man finally makes his arrival to the item shop after 4 years stuck in the Battle Pass. However, this Iron Man is the Mark 45 armor from Age of Ultron, with the mythics being based on the Mark 45. And one of the items that comes with this bundle is the Mark 45 Energy Blades, which is the Mark 50 Energy Blades from the Satchel Collectibles Mark 50 Accessories Pack. I do find it disappointing to see that specific armor when there were a bunch of armors they could have chosen, like the 90s module armor, and I do wish that there would be a glider for that bundle as well. Ghost Rider is another mashup of Beef Boss and Ghost Rider, and the body looks amazing, it's just that the head looks meh for the most part. Fish Sticks gets a Marvel skin in the form of Fishbowl, which is mostly underwhelming considering that he and a handful of characters have so many skins in the game. The last one is Spider-Woman, aka Jessica Drew, and yes, this is the comics version of Spider-Woman, and not the Spider-Verse one, which is fine. I do like the option to turn off the webbing on her skin, which is essentially a wing glider suit type of webbing. These 7 Marvel skins are great, although Epic could have gone all out with including more Marvel characters to join the fray for the season, like the Fantastic Four and Ultron, and not have done Marvel matchups with Fortnite characters. We have icons, and it's only 2 minus the festival headliner. We have the Spanish YouTuber Rubius and NBA Hall of Famer Shaq, aka DJ Diesel. The only thing I like from the Rubius bundle is the ASMR keys emotes, but everything else looks good for Rubius. As for Shaq, however, he is loaded with customization for not only his DJ Diesel skin, but another skin he has called Super Shaq. And his bundle is packed with 2 back blings, 2 pickaxes, and 2 emotes. It's honestly a best of both worlds for the icon stuff, because on one hand you have one that is completely unknown outside of Europe, while the other is mostly known all over the world. Then we have Disney, and starting it off we have Pixar with The Incredibles. With The Incredibles we have Mr. Incredible, Mrs. Incredible, and Frozone. The bundle also includes 3 back blings, 3 pickaxes, and 2 emotes. There were plans for the Incredimobile to be included in this set, but it was entirely scrapped, which was most disappointing to see for this collaboration. The Level Up quest pack is none other than Neo Video Games' own Unruly. Okay, I'm just kidding on that one. But it's Zane, and Zane looks great even though he does look like Unruly himself. For the crew skins, we get 2 skins that came out in September and October, Dahlia and Polis, and while there is a 3rd skin in November, Kyron, he is not out as of this video. Of the 3 aesthetically, Polis is the definitive winner of the crew skin during this season. All these skins were amazing to have, although some missed the mark while others shined more. Now we get to the story, and it's a good one, and it felt like a Marvel comic story more than it being an MCU story. The gist of it is mostly Jones, Hope, and the Oracle tracking Doom on what he has been doing on the island ever since the aftermath of the refinery event and took over the island. They tried to send Doom back to Earth 616, but was sabotaged by Doom, so they end up eliminating Mysterio and Emma Frost with the help of Shuri and Iron Man to weaken his control of the island. The story ends with the Absolute Doom event, where the heroes fight against a giant Doom boss for 40 to 50 minutes after dealing 2 trillion damage. You have to be here at survival events. Doom got sent back to Earth 616 through a rift that also absorbed the powers from Pandora's Box, leaving his mask behind and left on the ground as the heroes celebrate their victory. Come on! We're almost there! Yo! Holy crap. The story was a fun one to experience, although some objectives were difficult to do due to engagement optimized matchmaking making things difficult, even if there were bot lobbies with that matchmaking enabled. And as far as the mini live event for the season goes, it's completely underwhelming in my opinion. However, that's where the season does not end, but rather, technically a new one begins in the form of this year's Fortnite Nightmares. This year's Fortnite Nightmares might be one of the best ones in a while, where they managed to bounce back from a garbage one from last year despite getting Jack Skellington, Michael Myers, and Alan Wake in last year. The amount of skins this year is more than what we got last year, and it's amazing to see some obscure characters make their arrival on the island. Going to the Fortnite originals, we have Andy Fengerson, Lexa Hexbringer, Phantom Guff, Nightmare, and Ultima Carver. All 5 skins look great, with some taking the spotlight while some are considered hit or miss. As for collabs this year, we have 3 Marvel skins, 5 Disney skins, 3 movie characters, and 1 Icon skin. Starting with Marvel, we have Mephisto, She-Venom, and Agony. Mephisto is a funny one to have while being an awesome one due to the fact that so many people were over-predicting that Mephisto would appear in WandaVision. And Mephisto resides in the underworld, where you can give 20 health for a random weapon or 99 health to revive all your teammates. As for She-Venom and Agony, however, while it was a promo for the 3rd Venom movie, it is a spoiler that was supposed to be a surprise within the 3rd movie. With the 5 Disney skins, however, we see the return of Nightmare Before Christmas in the form of the Pumpkin King and Sally, which wasn't that surprising, but was great to see more characters from that movie. And then we have the Disney villains, Maleficent, Captain Hook, and Cruella de Vil. I really like all 3 designs of these classic villains, along with the amount of items they come with for the bundle. The only icon skin that came out during this year's Fortnite Nightmares is a dark version of Marshmallow. The last 3 are movie characters that many do not know, and it's Billy the Puppet from the Saw movie franchise, Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Edward Scissorhands. Edward is considered the 2nd Johnny Depp skin to be in the game, despite it being an obscure character to put in, but it does fit the theme of Halloween. Jumping ship to the changes in this year's Fortnite Nightmares, the island has a shakeup of changes. Pumpkins start appearing all over the island with an area change for 1 old POI as well as 2 new POIs. In the Hades area, the Green River is now red due to Mephisto taking over that area. Brawler's Battleground became Brawler's Patch, while the big change was Reckless Railways becoming Freaky Fields. I'm literally not kidding on that name. It's literally the name of that POI. Along with the island changes, there are new weapons to use, like the Boom Billies that appear as ground loot, chests, or from the Billy the Puppet boss at Freaky Fields. In short, the Boom Billies are proximity mines that trigger when a player is in close proximity to the Billies area. In some POIs, TV monitors appear and introduce Jigsaw's Challenge, a bounty where 2 players must accept the challenge, and after accepting the challenge, You don a billion-inspired bear mask that will explode after a certain amount of time if you don't kill another player that has accepted the challenge as well. The winner of that challenge will be rewarded loot that includes spoonbillies and the witch broom, to name a few. Another new weapon that was added is Leatherface's iconic chainsaw, and it is the second best melee weapon to be released. Pressing the fire button does a simple slash combo, while pressing the fire button in the air does a ground pound. Holding the aim button does a rush attack that is mostly used as a movement tool and has its own meter, but pressing the fire button while in a rush attack does a sprint slash. Returning items include the wood stake shotgun, pumpkin launcher, and the witch broom, while the claws got vaulted at first, but it exchanged its unvaulting to the hoverjets being vaulted. Horde Rush makes a return, and there are quests related to this year's Fortnite Nightmares event as well as for Horde Rush, though I do wish that the Fortnite Nightmares quests weren't time gated so we can get all the rewards as fast as possible. This year's Fortnite Nightmares is a step up from the past two Fortnite Nightmares being lackluster, and is a return to 2021's Fortnite Nightmares with having a big map shakeup as well as amazing skins to get. Now we move on to the other modes, and we start off with Festival Season 5, that also launched with the start of Absolute Doom. The headliner for this season is the Latin pop star Karol G, which is a literal tightrope epic walk-on from one of the best festival seasons with Metallica to a lukewarm season at best. The festival pass this season includes 4 licensed tracks from the late Avicii, Afrojack, and Ava Max, with 1 track belonging to Karol G. Karol G also has an item shop skin that has her in the Carolina skin. Not only that, but you also get 2 emotes as well as a set of instruments themed around Karol G as well as music from her. As far as quality of life changes go, the restart and replay options have been re-enabled after a few seasons without them. However, with the Fortnite Nightmares update, the L1 and R1 options have been bugged. The one good thing I liked about this season of festivals was the Karol G MSB Experience event that had more interactivity than the Metallica experience via Creative. But other than that, this festival season is mostly just alright. The next mode is LEGO, and it had 2 major updates, the Lost Isles and Fortnite Nightmares. Starting with Lost Isles, it is one of the biggest LEGO updates the mode has. Using any battle bus station will allow you to access the Lost Isles, and it is a big one filled with various areas to explore. The beach, plains, mountains, jungle, and floating islands. Along with this update, there are brand new weapons to craft, from the pirate musket to a machete. It also included the Tropical Treasures Pass that was only available for 4 weeks before the next LEGO Pass during Fortnite Nightmares. And speaking of Fortnite Nightmares, it included a big quality of life addition for the mode, Local Split Screen. It is the return of a feature many modern games rarely have now, but it comes at a caveat of setting up the account for player 2. This update also includes the Brick or Treat Pass that includes the Andy Fangerson skin, and it will last until December 10th of this year, which is supposedly the start of Chapter 6 or a week after the start of Chapter 6. As for creative, however, the first-person camera mode is now enabled for creative maps for Fortnite, which has been a rumor that was going to be added into the game since last year. The last mode is Rocket Racing, and it only has 6 more car employees from Rocket League: the BMW M240i, the Octane ZSR, the Red Line, Brian's Nissan Skyline from Too Fast Too Furious, the McLaren Senna, and the BMW 1 Series that has a regular and an RLE version from Rocket League's Rocket Pass for Season 16. As for what updates are included for Rocket Racing, well, it's nothing, because Rocket Racing has officially been axed from getting more support in the future due to low player count, which really sucks because it had potential but never had features and or new modes that would have improved the mode and would have saved it from being axed from getting support. Themed updates are no more, which means that the Sky City theme as well as a new theme for the start of Chapter 6 from the leaked roadmap earlier this year has been scrapped altogether. Instead, the mode will be on life support, meaning that the only thing that the mode will be focusing on are the weekly and ranked quests for the mode. If the mode had cross progression with Rocket League's Rocket Pass, then it would have been the biggest reason for players to grind the Rocket Pass, while making the crew subscription be worth something for having the Rocket Pass in that subscription altogether. While it is disappointing to see the outcome of Rocket Racing within this year, it will still be a mode that can still be accessible in the game, but just sidelined along with Save the World. Absolute Doom is one of the best seasons for Chapter 5, filled with fun weapons, amazing skins and events, and great updates for the other modes despite the death of Rocket Racing. This season was a jolt of lightning that was needed to save Chapter 5 from the worst season, which was Chapter 5 Season 3. Despite all the weird decisions and odd choices, Absolute Doom is an amazing way to end off a roller coaster of a chapter that was Chapter 5. Now, as far as closing thoughts, I really love this season. I rank it at number 2 for Chapter 5 seasons this year, but it has all the weird decisions as well as the death of Rocket Racing, so there's that. And yeah, I really didn't like the Fortnite mashups with Marvel characters at first, but some of them are growing to me, while some it's like they are really forgetful, which is really unfortunate because I wish they could have just added the Fantastic Four as well as Ultron. And I just want to pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts on this season? I think it was a really fun season, and if you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Huge shoutouts to the artists that have done loading screen art for this season. I will credit all of them in this video, and I will see y'all next time. Take care, everyone. If you are new to the channel, make sure to like the video, comment down below, click subscribe, and ring the bell for any future videos I put up on the channel.